Welcome to Mystic Realms Recap. Please like, share, and subscribe. Enjoy today's episode.
Faced with Chen Beiyuan's proposal to go out to sacrifice the flag, with traitors, all the imperial bosses present, including the emperor, voted unanimously without any hesitation. Although the list of these traitors includes many collateral relatives of wealthy families and some faction members who hold important positions. But for those aristocratic families, in the face of huge interests, some sacrifices are insignificant, as long as it does not involve the heirs of the family and direct descendants. They are just a few collateral relatives, and they can be exterminated in just a few minutes. It doesn't matter if you take it as a sacrificial flag. Even if you kill a few more, it won't be a problem. At the same time, Chen Beiyuan also brought up the matter of the Demon City. Since the Demon City had just suppressed the rebellion and was almost brutally massacred, it was in urgent need of a person with great courage and ability to temporarily take over as the chief officer of the Demon City. Chen Beiyuan took advantage of the situation and recommended Lin Yunluo, the second daughter of the Lin family. With the strong support of the Donghua Chen family and the Donghua Lin family, and the fact that the empire bosses had just shared the benefits, they also lobbied and exerted pressure. Emperor Donghua also agreed with a cold face. Lin Shufeng, the head of the Lin family, looked at Chen Beiyuan with a slightly softer gaze, and the previous warmth and anger disappeared. This little b*** d who likes to serve cabbage is at least a bit responsible and doesn't play the trick of pulling out ruthless people. In the end, the strategic action of the Donghua Empire to send troops to the Sakura country was completely decided and began to be announced to the outside world. In an instant, the whole world was shocked. When the news that the war was about to begin began to spread within the Donghua Empire, most people in Donghua were confused. But when he learned about his expedition goal, an uproar instantly arose. Why do we have to start a war again? We don't like to fight with, what, fighting little Sakura? Hey, is the Empire's military expenditure sufficient? It needs private crowdfunding. I will pay for 1 month. No, I will pay for 1 year's salary. If you buy more a few cannonballs, damn it. Gone, we finally have to deal with this little b*** d Sakura. I have been waiting for 3 generations for decades. I think back when my grandfather led people to fish in the imperial waters, he actually let some stupid little Sakura lead a destroyer till they drove me away and said it was their territory. The empire has finally begun to settle old scores. Those stupid bastards took advantage of our weakness and stole our things and invaded our land. I want to re-enlist in the army and go to the front line to kill those sons of b***. This time I have to go to their capital. Beat. A small number of Donghua people have very bad memories and always forget something, or a certain period of history. But more Donghua people have very deep memories. They remember certain things and a certain period of history clearly and clearly. This is a hatred deep in the blood. The Donghua Empire had not taken any action before. They just suppressed the anger in their hearts and did not show it too much. Now, the empire is coming for real, instantly igniting the flames in the hearts of the people. Beat. Must fight. If the money is not enough, I will make up the money. If there are not enough people, I will make up for it. If your life is not enough, I will fill it. Kill these stupid bastards. Donghua Academy. Accompanied by the sudden intrusion of the Imperial Law Enforcement Team and the army, Donghua students on the execution list were identified one after another. What are you going to do? Stop. I am a student of Donghua Academy and a pillar of the future empire. You have no right to arrest me. You have no right to arrest me. Wrong. Wrong. I don't dare anymore. I don't dare anymore. I just collected some things and played with a few Sakura girls. I really didn't do anything to regret the empire. I really didn't. Let me go? Let me go? Pass me. One of my own. One of my own. I'm from the Lin family. I'm from the Lin family. Give me some face. Give me some face. I want to see the head of the family. I want to see the head of the family. You can't treat me like this. What are you going to do? My dad is People in the law enforcement team and the army are not accustomed to the ideas of these traitors. If they don't accept it, they will first hit them with a few gun butts and smash them until their faces are blurred. Cry. I have to take a few hits first. Howl. A few more blows. Noisy. Beat them all to death first. As long as the person can't be beaten to death, just bring the flag to the public for sacrifice. The waters of Sakura country. Donghua warships' flying dragon flags were standing majestically on the sea, exuding an icy aura, and vaguely surrounded the island country in front of them. The Imperial fighter planes soaring through the sky from time to time roared like a giant dragon roaring. Some of the Sakura country fishermen who had just prepared to go fishing were almost scared to death when they saw such a battle. At this moment, the figures of Donghua's strong men were standing on the battleship group, staring at the huge island country in front of them, with bloodthirsty smiles on their faces. After Chen Beiyuan returned to the imperial capital, he immediately mobilized the Navy's battleship group and surrounded the Sakura Kingdom first. The Donghua Empire's top decision-making meetings seemed to last for a long time, but in fact it only took less than half an hour. As soon as the conclusion came out and the benefits of the top families were distributed, they sent strong men from the families to block it. I was afraid that a Sakura man would escape. Even the ancestors of various families who had just fought a rich war on the border front were rushing back now, ready to fight another big one. Seeing that the Donghua Empire is really going to compete with the Sakura Kingdom, the Human Race Alliance, composed of the top powers of the human race, began to feel a little restless. Not to mention Sakura country's strength, there is no backbone force in the Human Race Alliance. Once the Donghua Empire alone is able to swallow up the Sakura Kingdom, its strength will skyrocket in an instant. This is undoubtedly a threat to the other top empires. Soon, an alliance mediation group was urgently formed and rushed towards the Donghua Empire, hoping to reconcile the conflicts between the two sides. But before the alliance adjustment group could enter the waters of the Donghua Empire, they were attacked by the mysterious beast, and the entire army was wiped out. Sakura country. As the Donghua Empire declared war, news began to spread. The people of Sakura country also began to panic, and all kinds of emotions broke out. There is excitement, there is fear, there is uneasiness. Obviously, the Sakura people are also aware of the strength gap between them and the Donghua people. Although they always have a contemptuous attitude towards that ancient eastern country on the surface, the fear in their hearts is indelible. It's like a son's natural fear of his father. They are always afraid of the giant beast from the east coming to F***k them. Now, their wish has come true. The Donghua Empire has really come. Soon, the largest newspaper in Sakura country urgently published a new newspaper. On the newspaper, an unusually eye-catching headline came into view instantly. The demon from the far east is approaching Yuki. The evil demon from the far east is approaching. In the newspaper, Chen Beiyuan's cold and evil face is clearly visible, which makes people feel depressed and obsessed with it. As the commander-in-chief of the Donghua Empire this time, Chen Beiyuan has undoubtedly become the most dazzling existence among the countries of the human race. An 18-year-old boy actually served as the commander-in-chief of a powerful great emperor country, responsible for commanding the three armies to conquer a powerful kingdom. This is extremely rare even in the history of the top empires of the human race. When the newspaper of the Sakura newspaper was just published, it was directly snapped up by countless people. An inexplicable fear began to spread within the Sakura country and spread to the top little by little. Everyone was frightened by the actions of the behemoth from the Far East. Interestingly, while the fear spread, Chen Beiyuan in the newspaper unexpectedly attracted a lot of fans. Some women in the Sakura country began to admire this devil who was about to conquer their kingdom. As a result, newspapers with Chen Beiyuan's photo were sold at high prices in the black market in an instant. Compared to the helpless mood of the people below, the bigwigs above the Sakura country were truly terrified. Damn Ito Ryutsu, this old B***************** D has done us all a disservice. The Donghua Empire has now officially declared war on us, and even its warships have sailed into our territorial waters. The strong men of the Donghua Empire have gathered on the warships. According to the investigation of several grandfathers, there are at least more than 10 8th-grade war emperors among them. The mediation team sent by that bunch of rubbish from the Human Race Alliance was killed by the so-called mysterious beast halfway through. I think it was those Donghua people who were behind it. Baga, what does the Donghua Empire want to do? First, they mobilized most of the top combat forces and attacked the people of the Human Race Alliance. What do they want to do? Do they want to destroy the Sakura country? No. Go to the Ito family and ask Ito Ryetsu for an explanation. He caused this incident, and the Ito family must bear the consequences. Seeing that the Donghua Empire was serious, those families standing at the top of the Sakura country were also in an inexplicable panic at this moment, just like a frightened black beast, no longer arrogant and domineering as before. At this moment, they were like eager to pass on the blame and walk towards the Ito family like crazy, wanting the overlord of the Sakura country to take the risk. As for the royal family that was a mascot, naturally, it was subconsciously forgotten. Ito family. Ever since he knew that his plan was broken, the arrogant Ito Ryetsu has been caught in endless internal consumption. Since Chen Beiyuan became the commander-in-chief of the empire, if Ito Ryetsu didn't know who broke his plan, he would be really stupid. As proud as he is, he actually lost to an 18-year-old boy. This undoubtedly made him doubt his life. At this age, he has lived like a dog. And just when he was doubting his life, a group of old monsters came to ask for an explanation. He was made to spit for no reason, and he woke up from his failure for a short time and roared angrily. Enough! Sakura country is not at the end of its rope. Our Sakura country is also one of the allied countries in the Human Race Alliance. The Human Race Alliance will not sit idly by. Moreover, I have several close friends in the Human Race Alliance. They will help. This time, the Human Race Alliance seems to have only sent out an alliance mediation team, but in fact there is another mediation team, in secret. I believe they are almost here. Let the heads of each family come forward and negotiate with the Donghua people. As long as they can withdraw their troops, Sakura country is willing to pay a certain price, cede land as compensation, and let Heavenly Sovereign bow, kneel down and apologize. Just when the Ito family, the overlord of the Sakura country, was approached by a group of old monsters to settle the score. As the royal family, the Jingu family is filled with a strange atmosphere of fear and surprise. Sakura Palace. The Donghua people are finally here. Heavenly Sovereign stood at the top of the palace, looking at the seemingly small but actually huge battleships in the distance, exuding a cold aura, and murmured to himself. His face held the majesty and stability of sovereign, but the trace of uneasiness and fear in his eyes indicated that his mind was not as calm as he imagined. This war may be a huge opportunity for the Jingu family. At this moment, he was holding a piece of special, slightly wrinkled paper full of cherry blossom words in his hand, and the sweat in his palms wetted some of the contents on it. Donghua Battleship Conference Room. Reporting to the Commander-in-Chief, a total of 798,617 people from the 3rd Theater of the Empire, the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, Group armies and subordinate divisions have been gathered. The Imperial Navy mobilized 179 Imperial warships this time, and built the latest nuclear-powered cannon developed by the Academy of Science and Technology. 20 of the latest nuclear-powered airships equipped by the Imperial Air Force have surrounded the entire Sakura country. They are equipped with multiple nuclear ladies and can carry out a full-scale bombardment when necessary. Chen Beiyuan sat firmly in the first place and listened to the report. Sitting below him were Chen Zhiqing, Lin Shufeng, Bai Yun, Wang Xuanzong, Qin Yueshan, and other empire bosses. Behind these top bosses of the empire stand the top prodigies of the empire: Bai Ruowei, Wang Daoxian, Wei Wushuang, Zhu Kuaishou. This national war can be described as vast, and the major families also intend to let their heirs hone their skills, learn, and by the way, be gilded and have mixed qualifications. It's just compared to a commander-in-chief who sits at the top and holds great power. These top prodigies standing behind their respective fathers are undoubtedly a little dim. At this moment, Bai Ruowei and Jiang Yinhua looked at Chen Beiyuan. They were pleased, but also a little strange. At this moment, Chen Beiyuan is already a man who can sit at the same table as their fathers. Isn't that just a generation higher than them? When they thought of some of Chen Beiyuan's special role-playing hobbies, something strange seemed to appear on the faces of the two women, and there seemed to be a flash of peach blossoms in their eyes. At this moment, Chen Beiyuan didn't seem to notice the strange looks the two women looked at him, but felt the feeling of being in power. This time, the Donghua Empire dispatched a total of nearly 1 million troops, which he personally commanded. In addition, there are the heads of the top aristocratic families in front of you, as well as the ancestors of the major aristocratic families hiding in the dark. He nodded slowly to the great elder who was responsible for assisting him. Just when Chen Beiyuan was about to speak and issue his first order as the commander-in-chief of the empire, he suddenly heard the voice of the ordering soldier outside. Report to the commander-in-chief. A group of people suddenly appeared in the waters of Sakura country. They call themselves the Alliance Mediation Team and want to see you. Alliance Mediation Team? Weren't they attacked by mysterious beasts on the way and perished in the deep sea? Why did another one appear? Chen Beiyuan paused and looked at the elder next to him with a bit of questioning. I saw that the great elder who was responsible for assisting this time shook his head imperceptibly. Obviously, he didn't know either. Seeing that the great elder was a little confused, Chen Beiyuan understood instantly and knew it well. Obviously, the Human Race Alliance played a trick of building the plank road openly and covering up Chunsong secretly. They made one explicit and one secret, and two alliance mediation teams came. And the group of mysterious ferocious beasts who specialize in killing mediators obviously didn't kill them all. It is estimated that some people within the Human Race Alliance are also very aware of the methods of the Donghuachan family. Otherwise, they would not make such a decision. However, although Chen Beiyuan was a little surprised, it was nothing more than surprise. The so-called Human Race Alliance is actually composed of several top human race empires and a group of franchise countries. It is the strongest organization of human race and is equivalent to the co-owner of human race. Its nature is similar to that of a certain organization in the previous life. The two beings are very similar. However, the reason why the Human Race Alliance is awesome is because the leading empires are awesome. I'll give you face, you are the co-owner of human race. If I don't give you face, you're just a piece of shit. Within the Human Race Alliance, several top empires are the main sponsors. If the sponsor's father is unhappy, you will know the consequences. This is why Chen Beiyuan dared to let some humanoid beasts kill the Alliance Mediation Team. The murderer was a mysterious beast. What does it have to do with me, Chen Beiyuan? Not convinced. Come to Donghua Empire to settle accounts. A bunch of shameless people. Chen Beiyuan's eyes flashed with a cold light, filled with murderous intent. He knew very well that the reason why the Human Race Alliance dared to do this was because the White Eagle Alliance, Sunfall Empire, and other top empires were behind it. They obviously don't want to see the Donghua Empire easily annex the Sakura Kingdom and increase their strength. But they didn't want to take action on their own, so they encouraged some people from the Human Race Alliance to come forward and try to make something happen. And Sakura country must have contributed a lot. After all, they are the most urgent ones now. In this case, don't blame him for being rude. Anyway, the Alliance Mediation Team has actually died at the hands of the mysterious beast. The thing that suddenly appeared in front of me must be a fake. Just when Chen Beiyuan was about to order the group of scammers pretending to be the Alliance Mediation Group to be pulled out and executed, I saw a messenger running in. Commander-in-Chief, a small passenger ship suddenly sailed out of the Sakura Kingdom's defense line, carrying many senior officials from the Sakura Kingdom. They said they wanted to have peace talks with the commander-in-chief of the Donghua Empire and make corresponding compensation. Peace talks. Chen Beiyuan's eyes flashed coldly, as if he had some kind of interest. The murderous intent in his eyes suddenly disappeared, and a smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. Let the Sakura Kingdom passenger ship come over. The people from the Alliance Mediation Group detained it and brought it over too. Be rough. Soon, the Sakura Country Peace Negotiation Team headed by Ito Jiue was brought inside the Donghua battleship. As soon as they entered the command room, they saw a shocking scene. I saw several blonde, blue-eyed, black, white, or red foreigners being dragged in with heavy handcuffs and leg irons, like a group of prisoners. Damn it, Your Majesty the Commander-in-Chief, your soldiers are really too rude. I am the Deputy Secretary General of the Human Race Alliance, Regis. I was the head of the Alliance mediation team last time. How could you let your people? It is inhumane to put torture tools on me and my colleagues. A blonde, blue-eyed, white-skinned foreign man shouted towards Chen Beiyuan, who was sitting in the commander's seat. You vulgar, ungentlemanly barbarians, how can you treat a lady like this? Let me go. I am the mediator of the Human Race Alliance. You have no right to arrest me or use torture instruments on me. Snapped. Regis, who screamed the loudest, was hit by the butt of a rifle and was knocked to the ground in an instant, with blood spurting out from his forehead. The male and female alliance mediators behind them were also hit with rifle butts one after another, and fell to the ground in an instant. The black-skinned mediator who had just scolded a barbarian was beaten the hardest. After being beaten a few more times, he went directly to the ground, straightened his hands and legs, and his whole body began to sway and twitch. Your identity is currently in doubt. Your freedom will not be restored until the Commander-in-Chief has unilaterally contacted and confirmed it with the Human Race Alliance. Come here, please greet a few guests first, put a sack on each of them, and train the new recruits. Just beat them half to death. A man wearing a Donghua military uniform, with a sinisterly handsome face, a noble temperament, and a blood mark between his eyebrows spoke in a calm tone. As soon as he finished speaking, some soldiers came forward with sacks, put the members of the Alliance Mediation Group on them, gagged their mouths, and dragged them out directly to practice boxing with the new recruits outside. Yee! The man in the sack began to struggle wildly, and then received several more blows. Then, those dark and deep eyes looked at the shocked Sakura Country Peace Talks team in front of them. All the Empire bosses sitting at the round table also looked at the few Sakuras who had just walked in with strange eyes, looking up and down. Ito Shikoshi, Fukada Coward, Mikami Ayu, Okita Yuri, Kazama Miyu, Yukino Baiko, and other senior officials of Sakura Country suddenly felt an inexplicable sense of creepiness. It seems that in the eyes of these Donghua people in front of me, I am not a human being, but a piece of moving flesh. At this moment, Sakura, who had been severely assaulted, couldn't help but swallow her saliva as she looked at the sacks being dragged out one by one and squirming. This is different from what they expected. The Donghua people are so arrogant and domineering. Sakura Country wants peace talks? Commander Chen spoke first. Hi, Your Excellency, Commander-in-Chief. The Sakura Kingdom and the Donghua Empire have always been friends for generations. There must be some misunderstanding this time. As long as the Donghua Empire is willing to withdraw its troops, the Sakura Kingdom is willing to pay any price. Ito Jiue suppressed the frustration and fear in his heart, looked at the two young boys in front of him, stepped forward with a flattering and respectful look, and bowed deeply. The heavenly sovereign of the shrine is very heartbroken to hear that the commander-in-chief has not yet been married. He is willing to offer Princess Yukino and Queen Fire Dance as the commander-in-chief's slaves, cede 2 islands, and present a surrender edict. Okay, the Ito family really didn't take the heavenly sovereign of Jingu seriously as a human being. They had caused a big disaster, but as soon as they opened their mouth, they used their wives and daughters to pay off their debts, and even made them kneel down to deliver a surrender letter. It was almost like dismembering the Jingu family. Sure enough, Heavenly Sovereign is just for sale. What if I, the Commander-in-Chief, want the head of that old dog Ryuito? What if I, the Commander-in-Chief, want the head of that old dog Ryuito? Chen Beiyuan's calm and cold voice suddenly echoed throughout the conference room, instantly making Ito Jiue's expression solidify. Even the other senior officials of Sakura Kingdom behind him had stiff expressions. For Chen Beiyuan, the so-called Princess Sueno and Queen Huwu have long been his possessions and his slaves. As for the 2 ceded islands and the begging documents and so on, where do you leave them to beg for food? In contrast, he was more interested in the head of the old dog Ito Rukoshi. After all, this old dog severely tricked the Chun family of Donghua 100 years ago, and even the death of the ancestor of the Chun family was related to it. Naturally, this debt must be recovered. How do I remember that everything was done by that old dog Ito Rikoshi behind the scenes? Even the fact that the commander-in-chief was ambushed in the Demon City was related to him. Let's do this. As long as Sakura Country is willing to sacrifice Ito Rikoshi's head, I can consider withdrawing the troops. Chen Beiyuan sat on the command chair, with his hands crossed and a stern face. He looked at the stiff Ito Jiue and others in front of him with evil eyes, and made a request that was almost difficult for them to agree to. Who is Ito Rikoshi? He is the person who made the Ito family great over these hundreds of years. The reason why the Ito family was able to secure its position as the overlord of Sakura Country. It's because of Ito Rikoshi. And Ito Ryu is not only the 8th grade war emperor of Sakura Kingdom. He is now the only human race strongest person in the entire Sakura Kingdom. With the presence of Ito Rikoshi, the strongest human race player, Sakura Kingdom was able to rank in the top 10 of the Human Race Alliance, almost the first kingdom under all the top empires. If it weren't for this, Ito Rikoshi wouldn't have been qualified to cooperate with the Abyss Devourer, a terrifying beast comparable to the strongest of the human race, let alone survive until now. Today's Sakura Kingdom has fallen into its current situation, and there are many 8th grade war emperors from major families in the country who want to kill him. But it is because Ito Ryu has the terrifying strength of the strongest human race that he can make all parties fear him from the beginning to the end without any harm. It's not that simple to get the head of the strongest human race. If Ito Ryu went crazy, he might be able to drag many people along with him. Ito Jiue obviously couldn't offer his father's head. At this moment, he could only grit his teeth and start spending money. Your Excellency, Commander-in-Chief, father only did those stupid things because he was confused for a moment. The Ito family is willing to present an 8th grade magic weapon to you as an apology for what father has done. An 8th grade magic weapon. Hearing this, the eyes of all the big guys from Donghua Academy present moved. This is a generous gift. You know, even for those top families, the existence of 8th grade magic weapons is extremely rare. In a sense, the 8th grade divine weapon is more precious than the 8th grade war emperor. Nowadays, it is difficult for most 8th grade war emperors to have their own 8th grade magic weapons. Even Chen Beiyuan, who already owns several 8th grade magic weapons, would not think this thing is too much. Even if you can't use it yourself, you can give it to other people in the family. One is not enough. I want two. Chen Beiyuan's tone changed and he seemed to be relaxed. Ito Jiue's expression was startled, as if he was a little uncertain, but he couldn't help but feel relieved inside. As long as you can talk about it, that's a good thing. Compared to Ito Rikoshi, the most powerful human race warrior in Sakura Kingdom, the price of 2 8th grade magic weapons is still affordable for the Ito family. Okay, the Ito family agreed. Finally, after some struggle, the head of the Ito family finally gritted his teeth and agreed. But even so, Chen Beiyuan and a group of Donghua Empire bosses knew that the Ito family, the overlord of the Sakura Kingdom, was rich, which was probably far beyond ordinary people's imagination. In an instant, the eyes of everyone looking at the Sakura people in front of them undoubtedly became hot. Ito Jiue and others, who were stared at with horror, felt chills in their hearts, but there was nothing they could do. Very good. I have seen the sincerity of the Ito family. I will not pursue the matter of ambushing me before. Then it is time to talk about other things. This time the Donghua Empire dispatched nearly 1 million troops and mobilized countless weapons and equipment. The material, manpower, and financial resources spent are astronomical. Should the Sakura Kingdom help bear it? I don't want more. 20 trillion military expenditures, Sakura Country's Haibei Road, Sakura Road, and other sea areas will be owned by the Donghua Empire. Sakura Country needs to provide supplies to Donghua Empire every year. Conditions that were almost harsh and humiliating to the country were imposed. The faces of Ito Jiue and others also turned white little by little. If these treaties are really signed, their lives of confusion will be over. But at this moment, Sakura Country is in a weak position and does not have much bargaining power. Compared with the possible subjugation of the country that may follow, a small price is obviously acceptable. It's not too much for each family to share with each other. I will give you half an hour to prepare the corresponding things and the treaty, and send them to me. As soon as the things arrive, I will start to withdraw the troops. If the time passes, don't blame me. Your Excellency, Commander-in-Chief, Sakura country can agree to your request, but how can you guarantee that you will keep your promise? Then let the people from the Human Race Alliance bear witness. Come on, bring in Rice, who claims to be the Deputy Secretary General of the Alliance. It must be said that under unprecedented pressure, Sakura country responded very quickly. Soon, someone brought 2 8th-grade magic weapons and the corresponding compensation. At the same time, under the witness of a certain Deputy Secretary General of the Alliance, Sif, who was beaten half to death, Ito Jiue, who represented the Sakura Kingdom, signed a series of contracts with Chen Beiyuan, the commander-in-chief of the Donghua Empire, which could be called humiliating the country, ceding almost the entire Sakura Kingdom sea area and various minerals to the Donghua people. However, unexpectedly, when they got the contract, Ito Jiue and other Sakura people did not show the slightest expression of frustration. Instead, they cheered and looked like they had won the battle. However, the faces of the top prodigies of the Donghua Empire turned a little ugly. Apparently, they did not expect that this expedition would turn out to be so anticlimactic. Compared with the benefits gained from conquering Sakura country, what is gained now is just some petty profits. But when they wanted to stand out, they unexpectedly discovered that the characters of their fathers sitting in front looked indifferent, and they were suddenly shocked and realized something was wrong. But Bai Ruowei, who knew Chen Beiyuan best, seemed to have noticed something. "Come here, give me my order." Just when Chen Beiyuan was about to issue the withdrawal order in front of everyone. The next moment, a messenger rushed in suddenly and hurriedly, with a somewhat anxious look on his face, and shouted, "Reporting to the commander-in-chief, just now, one of our soldiers suddenly got lost in Sakura country." Reporting to the commander-in-chief, just now, one of our soldiers suddenly got lost in Sakura country. A Donghua soldier actually got lost in Sakura country. When this seemingly inconspicuous little news suddenly appeared in the Imperial Command Room. Sitting on the round table, Chen Zhiqing, Lin Shufeng, Bai Yinyun, Qin Yueshan, Wang Xuanzang, and other Imperial bosses suddenly showed a strange smile on their faces. The expressions of prodigy from the empires behind them also changed slightly, as if they had thought of something, and all their eyes were focused on the evil and handsome young figure. Because at this moment, they have recognized that the beautiful messenger in front of them is Chen Beiyuan's personal secretary Leng Ruobing. Ito Shikoshi, Kazama Miu, Mikami Eu, Fukada Coward, and other senior officials of Sakura country, who were holding the signed contracts of losing their country and humiliating their power, all had slightly changed expressions. For some reason, they suddenly noticed something. An inexplicable chill came over me. Cole. I haven't given the order to log into Sakura country yet. How did people get lost? Commander-in-Chief Chen, who was about to order the withdrawal of troops, suddenly became livid and pointed directly at the beautiful messenger who came in to report in front of him and scolded. Unorganized, undisciplined, absent from duty, and acting recklessly. The missing person must go to a military court and receive severe punishment. And you? Why is such a big thing reported at this time? You must also bear the corresponding responsibility. The beautiful soldier who was scolded turned pale, her whole body was shaking, and her legs were weak. Seeing Chen Beiyuan's furious look, Ito Jiue felt the chill in his heart getting stronger and stronger. But he couldn't find the source for a while, and subconsciously wanted to persuade him to withdraw his troops first. "Your Excellency, Commander-in-Chief, please be happy. The Sakura Congress has found the soldiers of your country and sent them back intact. Can you please first?" Chen Beiyuan interrupted him directly and looked at the Sakura country peace talks team in front of him with a serious face. "Mr. Ito, this matter is related to the military affairs of the Donghua Empire. Naturally, we will handle it internally, so we will not trouble the Sakura country. At the same time, we also ask the Sakura country not to interfere in the military affairs of other countries. Now, please Mr. Ito, go back to Sakura country and ask your country to take the initiative to open the sea defense line. Open your country's door, and let my army go in and search to find the lost soldier." Ito Jiue and others' pupils shrank. Their expressions changed dramatically and a chill instantly spread from the soles of their feet to Tianling Gai, almost making them pee on the spot. At this moment, it would be a shame if they really didn't know the source of that chill. Open the defense line. Open the country. Let the Donghua army go in and search for someone. What are you doing here? What's the difference between this and a burly and powerful Donghua man saying please open to a delicate Sakura girl? After opening it, is it still okay? I'm afraid it's not life-threatening. Still searching? How do you want to check? Check this. Then check. What to do if a human life is found? What to do if a dead person is found? Okay, I really don't dare to think about it. Even if Ito Jiue is showing off his brain and drinks too much nuclear water, he doesn't dare to make such a decision. General, Your Excellency, Commander-in-Chief, this is not in line with the rules and the contract we signed. Look, this is the withdrawal treaty you just signed, and it also has the Deputy Secretary General of the Human Race Alliance, Mr. Rizov, as a witness. Ito Jiue suppressed the anger and frustration in his heart and still had a flattering smile on his face, hoping to persuade the young man in front of him to abide by the spirit of the contract. A weak country has no diplomacy. The reason why Sakura Kingdom dared to do that before was because they thought that the Donghua people liked to engage in internal fighting and would not attack them easily. Now it's okay. People are starting to take action, and it's their turn to panic. If you can't beat him, you can only kneel down and beg for mercy. Mr. Rice, you are from the Alliance and a witness here. Please say something. Ito Jiue looked at the Deputy Secretary General of Human Race Alliance, Reizifu, who was beaten to death and disfigured, and said hurriedly. But facing Ito Jiue, who was praying hard in front of him, the friendly smile on Commander Chen's face gradually dissipated, and his tone became cold. Mr. Ito, maybe my too tolerant attitude caused you to get something wrong. First, I don't like your attitude very much. Are you teaching me how to do things? What qualifications do you have to question me? You are just the head of an aristocratic family on a border island country. What confidence do you have to accuse a top empire's commander-in-chief? Who gave you the courage? Of course, I am a man of my word, and I said I would withdraw our troops. However, the withdrawal time was not clearly stated. It would naturally be possible for the empire's army to withdraw once the lost soldier is found in Sakura country. As the commander-in-chief of the Donghua Empire, I will never leave any soldier behind in a foreign country. Because this is not only a shame for me, the commander-in-chief, but also a shame for the entire empire. Every soldier who goes to war with me, as long as he is alive, I will take him back. Chen Beiyuan's calm voice contains domineering power. His seemingly young and tender face actually showed an iron-blooded side at this moment, as if he was a battlefield-killing god. The terrifying anger contained in his eyes instantly frightened Ito Jiue in front of him, and he became stunned and his whole body became cold. Second, I don't know Mr. Risif you are talking about. This commander already knew that the mediation team, sent by the Alliance, had already died at the hands of the mysterious beast. Where is the second mediation team? Risif, who was watching the show, suddenly turned pale, and his golden hair stood on end in fear, like a beast that had sensed death. Wait for me. Snapped. A thick gun barrel hit his head instantly, knocking him to the ground and letting out a shrill scream. You are so brave. You dare to pretend to be a member of the Human Race Alliance and cheat. I'm afraid I won't be able to keep you. I saw Chief of Staff Kue copying the guy and smashing Risif's head crazily. His attack was so ruthless that there was almost no mercy. Puff. In an instant, Lesiv's Tianling cap was smashed to pieces, his brain spewed out instantly, his scream stopped instantly, and the remaining mutilated body was still twitching unconsciously. Seeing the tragic death of Risif, the Deputy Secretary General of the Human Race Alliance, the chill in Ito Jiue's heart almost turned into ice, and he looked at Chen Beiyuan in front of him with malicious eyes. Baga, you never thought about withdrawing the troops from the beginning to the end, you madman, butcher, devil. How dare you? How dare you insult the commander-in-chief? Snapped, snapped, snapped. A group of Donghua strongmen hidden in the command room suddenly appeared, directly captured Ito Jiue, beat his mouth to pieces, and countless broken teeth fell out. Even the other senior officials of Sakura Kingdom behind him were not spared, and they were all pressed to the ground and rubbed. From the beginning to the end, Chen Beiyuan never glanced at them. Instead, he raised his eyes and looked at the cherry blossom country in front of him, with a hint of coldness in his voice. Notify Sakura country to open its defenses, open its gates, and cooperate with the search. Anyone who dares to stop us will be killed without mercy. It is impossible to withdraw the troops. It is impossible to withdraw the troops in this life. Even if they want to withdraw, they have to defeat the entire Sakura kingdom. The so-called withdrawal before was just to collect some interest from the Ito family and indirectly weaken the overall strength of the entire Sakura kingdom. Even if he really wanted to withdraw his troops, the top families behind him might not agree. These are all hungry tigers who want to eat meat. Now they have set their sights on the wolf of Sakura country, waiting to eat them. In the face of interests, it is useless even if Heavenly Sovereign comes. And Chen Beiyuan has no mercy on Sakura country, a country full of beasts. The accounts from that year should be settled one by one. Put down your weapons and surrender. Open the country immediately and cooperate with the search. Put down your weapons and surrender. Open the country immediately. Cooperate with the search. Put down your weapons and surrender. Open the country immediately. Cooperate with the search. Along with the order for the entire army to attack, the order was issued. I saw the huge warships of the Donghua Empire moving towards the huge island country in front of me with a sense of oppression. The huge broadcast sound echoed on the sea and in the sky, like the roar of a giant. I saw that the energy cannon mounted on the huge battleship began to adjust directly, aiming at the Sakura battleships in front, but it did not launch an attack immediately. Yizhudai, the Donghua people are starting to approach. It's not good. The demons from the Far East have begun to invade. I will be loyal to His Excellency Heavenly Sovereign of the Divine Palace, and I will never give up. 100 million pieces of jade. 100 million pieces of jade. Mother, I miss you so much. Facing the huge movement of the Donghua Empire, the Sakura people on the Sakura battleship that formed a line of defense guarding the gates of the Sakura kingdom suddenly began to panic and let out chaotic screams. The national strength between the two countries is quite different. The number of warships between them is not at the same level. More importantly, judging from the size of the battleships, in front of the huge hill-like battleships of the Donghua Empire, the Sakura Kingdom's battleships are as ridiculous as small potatoes. Now, looking at the giants that are constantly surrounding them from all directions, these little potatoes of Sakura country are beginning to panic. Don't do it. Don't do it. I'll wait until I ask the adults above for instructions. I'll wait until I ask the superiors for instructions. Shimizu Shoda, the commander of the Sakura Kingdom Navy who was in charge of commanding the battleships, saw the huge Donghua Empire approaching, and his scalp felt numb for a moment. He quickly began to issue orders to prevent the conflict from happening, and planned to call the big shots above to make a decision. The current situation is not something that he, the commander of the Sakura Kingdom Navy, can handle. If one is not good, it will be fatal. But I don't know if it's because of God's failure. On a Sakura battleship, a recruit who clamored to be loyal to the Sakura Kingdom and to the heavenly sovereign of the shrine actually took advantage of the chaos to sneak up to the fort and headed directly towards the huge eastern ships ahead. The Chinese battleship fired its cannon. Boom. The huge sound of the cannon instantly overwhelmed the confused exclamations of the Sakura people. Snapped. Shoda Shimizu, who was about to call the top, was stunned for a moment, and the emergency phone in his hand fell to the ground. In an instant, the entire sea area seemed to have pressed the pause button. Even the other Donghua battleships that were encircling them suddenly stopped. In the shocked and frightened eyes of pairs of Sakura people, they saw that the explosive gas on the Donghua battleship, which was hit by a cannonball from the front and was smoking thickly, gradually dissipated. The surface of the bone-chilling Donghua battleship only showed a trace of burnt blackness, not even a dent. Such a huge gap instantly dumbfounded all Sakura people. Report to the commander-in-chief that the enemy not only refuses to surrender, but obediently opens the door to the country. He also dares to take the initiative to attack us. Hit me, with the cold military order falling. In an instant, all the Donghua battleships were like giant beasts that were completely enraged. They began to launch a devastating and terrifying offensive crazily, killing the short Sakura potatoes in front of them. Rumble. Huge explosions resounded one after another. Strong men from the two countries began to appear from their respective battleships, and terrifying fighting spirits and various fighting spirits fought against each other. Half an hour later, all the naval warships surrounding the entire Sakura Kingdom Sea area were wiped out and turned into countless broken wrecks in an instant. The blood of the Sakura people directly dyed the surrounding sea red. The islands surrounding Sakura country have fallen one after another. The evil Far Eastern demon defeated the Sakura navy. The despicable and shameless Far Eastern demons are invading Sakura's homeland. The monster from the Far East is coming. As urgent battle reports from the front line continued to come in, Sakura newspaper went crazy printing the latest battle reports and making them available for sale. They were often sold out just after they were printed. Although the Donghua Empire's army has not actually logged in yet, but the atmosphere of fear in the entire Sakura Kingdom has almost reached its peak. The Jingu family. Finally come. Shrine Heavenly Sovereign looked at the huge battleship gradually revealed on the distant sea, and the face covered by the shadow seemed to have made some kind of decision. When Ito Jiue and others were detained, the news came back that the Donghua people had torn up the withdrawal contract and launched a brazen attack. The expressions of Ito Ryu and the old monsters from other families suddenly became extremely gloomy, obviously understanding the determination of the Donghua people. This undoubtedly seriously stimulated their hearts that were about to stop beating. Damn Donghua people, they clearly want to kill us all. Despicable Donghua people, how dare they deceive the great Sakura people? Baga, baga, baga. The old monsters from Sakura Kingdom yelled angrily, showing no trace of the demeanor of a top powerhouse. But while they were angry, they could not hide the look of fear in their eyes. Even Ito Rukoshi, the old dog who had caused all the evil consequences, no longer had the calmness before, and a hint of madness gradually appeared in his eyes. Let the Jingu family come forward on behalf of the royal family. Summon the people of the entire Sakura Kingdom and all the powerful people among the people. Launch a plan of 100 million pieces of jade and fight against the Donghua people. As long as the untouchables in the entire Sakura Kingdom are mobilized, they will definitely cause a lot of trouble to the Donghua people and make their army bleed. I learned about this expedition through special channels. Prodigy, a younger generation of the Donghua Empire, is also here. As long as we seize the opportunity, we will attack him and completely cut off the future of the Donghua Empire. Even if I die, I have to hold the Donghua people on my back. At this moment, Ito Rukoshi was obviously a little crazy, and he actually planned to use the special status of the Jingu family as a royal family in the hearts of the people of Sakura country to confuse people's hearts. Let the entire Sakura nation launch a suicidal charge against the Donghua Empire's army. There is no doubt that this is a vicious trick. However, the eyes of the other old monsters around him lit up and they nodded in approval. Naturally, they don't care about the life and death of some untouchables. But just when they decided on this poisonous plan, there was a sudden violent commotion outside, which immediately attracted their attention. Grandpa, it's not good. At this moment, Hideo Ito suddenly rushed in with a look of horror. Just now, the Divine Palace Heavenly Sovereign issued the unconditional surrender to Donghua, to all parts of the country through various channels. Sakura country. Surrendered. What did you say? Ito Ryu and other old monsters suddenly turned pale. They never imagined that they would be manipulated by the puppet Heavenly Sovereign of the shrine. This time, their previous plan was not only completely shattered, it puts the entire situation into an irreversible situation. Although in the eyes of the major families in Sakura country, the Heavenly Sovereign Shrine is just a puppet, and it has to be bullied by them occasionally, and it has no majesty. But among most people in Sakura country, the Heavenly Sovereign is the spokesperson of the gods, their belief, and an existence that can make them sacrifice everything. After nearly 1,000 years of slavish control, coupled with belief control, the Jingu family, as the royal family of Sakura Kingdom, undoubtedly has a very special status. The Jingu family is the orthodoxy of Sakura country. Across the Sakura country, there are countless die-hard loyalists and foolish loyalists who are willing to die for Lord Heavenly Sovereign. Among them, there are many civilian strong men, Ronin swordsmen, sword-wielding martial warriors who have been taught since childhood to be loyal to Lord Heavenly Sovereign. This is one of the fundamental reasons why the major families have always allowed the Shingu family to exist. At critical moments, the Jingu family can still play a special role. Once those untouchables controlled by faith and servility are incited, they will inevitably burst out with terrifying combat power. However, all this has now come to nothing. Because Heavenly Sovereign, the shrine regarded as a god by countless Sakura people, openly announced its unconditional surrender. And when Ito Ryu and other old monsters got the contents of the manuscript, Unconditional Surrender to Donghua, from Hideo Ito, they almost lost their temper. Idiot. Because, in this letter of surrender, the Divine Palace Heavenly Sovereign was extremely flattering, almost like licking a dog, treating the Donghua Empire as the fatherland, and kneeling down to call daddy. He even took the initiative to say that the ancestors of Sakura country were Donghua people, and there was a strong blood relationship between the two. Later, the Heavenly Sovereign of the Shrine regarded the commander-in-chief of the Donghua Empire as the savior of the Sakura Kingdom. After some extremely flattering words, the conversation changed and the meaty drama began. The Heavenly Sovereign of the Divine Palace denounced the major families in the country for their wanton behavior, ignoring the law and exploiting the people, almost treating him, the Heavenly Sovereign, as a puppet. This kind of behavior is simply a traitor to traitors, and everyone will punish them if they find it. This time, the Heavenly Sovereign of the Shrine hopes that Donghua will go to the country, and Donghua's father can help his son who has been bullied for many years to punish the traitors of the country and quell the rebellion of these rebellious officials and traitors. After the rebellion is suppressed, the Sakura Kingdom is willing to surrender to the Donghua Kingdom and serve as its lackey, letting them be sent and dealt with as they please. Taken together, its core meaning is also very simple. Sakura country, Dad loves me again. Grandfather, after Heavenly Sovereign announced unconditional surrender to Donghua. In the shrine, there was an uproar in the country. Many untouchables began to riot, madly smashing the Ito family and other families' properties, and many strong members of the family were suddenly killed. Assassination. Just now, there were untouchables who tried to storm the door of Ito's house, but I led my men to suppress it. Ito Hideo looked at the pair of angry red eyes in front of him and was instantly trembling with fear. However, he still suppressed his fear and continued. But, there was a mutiny among the Sakura troops stationed at the defense line. Many people took the initiative to open the city gates to the Donghua people and chose not to resist. I'm afraid the Donghua people have already come in. Boom. Ito Ryu felt dizzy when he heard this, and the other old monsters almost passed by. Good. They originally wanted to use the Heavenly Sovereign as a gun. Unexpectedly, the Divine Palace Heavenly Sovereign gave them a cruel blow and directly beat them into traitors. This move can be said to be a blow to the bottom of the pot. All the dirty water was poured on them, almost roast them all over the fire. Now it's not only the Donghua people who want them to die, but there are also many untouchables in Sakura Kingdom who want them to die. As a surrenderer, the Jingu family became the only family most likely to survive. Damn the Shingu family. It actually betrayed us a long time ago and colluded with the Donghua people. However, at this moment, it was too late to react, because the Donghua people have already arrived. Donghua Battleship Command Room. The Unconditional Surrender to Donghua document from the Heavenly Sovereign in the Shrine went through unknown channels, but finally appeared in front of Commander Chun and the Imperial bosses. At this moment, Chen Beiyuan could clearly feel that the eyes of the Empire bosses looking at him seemed a bit strange. No one in this world is a fool. It can be seen from the admiration and flattering remarks made by Heavenly Sovereign in the shrine. The Shingu family may have been very close to the Donghua Chen family for a long time, but it is very likely that they are at a negative distance. It can be seen from this that Chen Beiyuan has a big plan. Give me the order, don't affect civilians in this search operation. Only kill nobles, profiteers, and bandits. Chen Beiyuan looked at the surrender letter in front of him and slowly raised his head, ignoring the strange and complicated looks of the people around him. He knew very well that at this point, it would be difficult to hide some things. That being the case, let's not hide it. At this point, it's time to divide the meat. With a faint look in his eyes, he continued to order. Everyone, the time has come to make contributions. According to the old rules, each family has its own goals and solves them separately. Everything gained belongs to each of them. Then I'll leave it to you all. As soon as these words came out, the faces of all the top aristocratic families were all happy, and they said in unison, "Here." He looked towards the void somewhere, and his voice was somewhat solemn and respectful. At the same time, I also ask you seniors to take action and fight as quickly as possible without causing too much impact. Ha ha ha, that's natural. I really don't pay attention to a few 8th grade war emperors born in a small island country. Commander, don't worry. We old guys may not be able to do anything else, but we can still kill a few Sakura ghosts. As early as 100 years ago, I wanted to kill them. Now that it's been delayed, it's time to give them a good time. It's finally time to take action. The bones are a little rusty, so let's moisten them with the blood of Sakura Ghost. The Donghua ancestors hiding in the darkness suddenly laughed, but their laughter seemed to contain cold, murderous intent. With the unconditional surrender of the Shrine Heavenly Sovereign, some Sakura people on the border took the initiative to open the country and welcome the arrival of the East Chinese people. The Donghua Empire's army naturally divided its forces very easily and directly attacked the places and hinterland of Sakura Kingdom. Among them, people from the top families were also involved, and they went straight to the major families in Sakura Kingdom and started to take action. What is interesting is that when the unconditional surrender letter of the Heavenly Sovereign of the Shrine appeared, the country fell into chaos, and after the Donghua, people really set foot on the land of Sakura country. A certain Sakura newspaper has started printing a new newspaper. The Savior of the Holy and Great Empire will arrive today. The Savior of the Holy and Great Empire will arrive today. From the beginning of the devil, the tyrant, the giant of the Far East, to the current savior of the empire. The name Chen Beiyuan is called by the people of Sakura country changes again and again, which is extremely absurd and dramatic. This scene is like an arrogant and pure goddess who went from being contemptuous at the beginning, to panic, to fear, to howling and yelling, and bit by bit she became a dog licker, and bit by bit she became a hot weapon. Facts have proved that most people in the Sakura country also know what it means to be a hero who knows the current affairs. In order to slander Chen Beiyuan, the commander-in-chief of the Donghua Empire, a certain Sakura club wrote many essays. Among them, they took the rumor that Chen Beiyuan was lustful to the extreme and created a wave of rumors. The little secret between Chen Jun and Mrs. Baijia. Empire tyrant versus monster race emperor daughter. Far Eastern giants ravage the elf kingdom. Chen Beiyuan, are you very proud? I have to say that in some aspects, Sakura Kuni is indeed very talented, especially in action scenes, where he is particularly famous. The wonderful content and explosive action of each short essay can be described as eye-opening. It is said that newspapers at that time were sold out almost instantly as soon as they were printed. In the black market, the price of a newspaper was frighteningly high. But now the situation has changed drastically. Sakura newspaper, which had made a lot of money before, is almost scared to death. Now, it can be said that it is crazy to praise Chen Beiyuan, just because it is afraid of being liquidated with a small book afterwards. They had heard that someone like Chun had a hobby of making jingguan. While they were crazily touting it, they also published the newspaper before recycling it at a crazy high price, intending to destroy the evidence. However, people at Sakura newspaper didn't know that every time a new newspaper was released, a copy would be delivered to Commander Chun. It is said that Commander-in-Chief Chen highly affirmed and praised this. But in some places, Commander Chun was a little dissatisfied. I don't know whether it's because the people of Sakura country have less experience, or they haven't seen the big world. They are too conservative about the sizes of some things and have not used the corresponding imagination. This is worthy of criticism. Welcome Donghua's army to the city. Welcome Donghua's army to the city. Welcome Donghua's army to the city. Facts have proved that history always chooses the winner. When the Donghua Empire's army entered the Sakura Kingdom, they encountered no so-called resistance, let alone so-called fierce assassinations and ambushes. Instead, I saw countless leading parties swarming out. Some of these leading parties are opportunistic, some are sincere, and some want to let Donghua people make the decision for them. My lords, I will lead you. The Fukada family property is ahead of you. My lords, I know the location of a laboratory in the Ito family. Those bastards are doing human experiments there. My wife was taken away by them after the special blood was tested. At the same time, the heads of the top aristocratic families also brought the strong men and private soldiers of their respective families to find their targets. Sakura people just like to play with spooky things, and the ghosts they raise all have such weird looks. Beiyuan shook his head and looked at the ghostly Fukada family in front of him, his face full of disdain. Next to him were standing a group of strong men from the Bai family, including some old men from the Bai family who exuded a strong sense of death. Behind them were terrifying beasts arrayed like an army. Among them, there are 5 quasi-emperor level beasts, nearly 100 rank 7 beasts, nearly 1,000 rank 6 beasts, and no less than tens of thousands of rank 5 beasts. As the beast-controlling family of the Donghua Empire, the Bai family has never been boasted, but the real deal. This time, in order to swallow up the Fukada family's fat piece of meat, the Donghua Bai family really came to do it. As soon as he took action, a wave of beasts almost condensed out. No, 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 let me go, let me go. The Fukada family is willing to surrender. They are willing to surrender. Under the impact of the terrifying beast tide, the entire Fukada family was on the verge of collapse, and countless members of the Fukada family who were possessed by summoned ghosts and gods were killed one after another. Even the strong men of the Fukada family fell one after another, being beaten to the point where they were unable to fight back. Under the threat of death, even those big shots who were usually extremely proud began to beg for mercy like bereaved dogs, hoping to survive. However, facing their begging for mercy, Beiyuan's face was only cold from beginning to end. People from Donghua, you are going too far. There was a scream in the sky. Hidden in the clouds, the terrifying ghosts and gods transformed by the ancestor Fukada are constantly torn apart easily by some kind of force. Countless ghost blood fell from the sky, dripping towards the Fukada family below, as if the sky was crying. The voice of the ancestor of the Bai family appeared faintly. You'd better take care of yourself. Roar. Accompanied by a strange monster roar, the sky suddenly tore apart. A giant hand of a monster with gnarled muscles fell from the sky and hit the Fujiki family hard. A terrifying earthquake instantly set off, and countless members of the Fujiki family perished. Kill them all, leaving no one behind. Ancestor has ordered that all the corpses of the Fujiki family be recovered and their corpses used to purify monster blood. Kill, 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 kill. At the same time, demonized strong men from the Lin family appeared one after another and began an almost crazy massacre. Even though the Fujiki family claimed to have the bloodline of the great monster and could manifest a monster body, they were still unable to fight back when faced with the strong men of the Lin family. In an instant, the area was covered with rich blood energy and howlings of fear. In the Donghua Empire, the Donghua Lin family has always been known as the family of demons. Weno family. Damn, these puppets can't be killed at all, no? What kind of monster is this? This is impossible. How could such a terrifying puppet exist in the world? Even if your head is blown off and your body is destroyed, you will be able to regroup. Damn it. We have to find the puppet master behind the scenes. The strong men of the Weno family let out unbelievable screams and wails. In front of them, at this moment, there is a corpse of a puppet that cannot be killed. Even if it is killed, it will regroup and resurrect. These are the masterpieces of the Donghua Wei family. From beginning to end, they were killed quickly and desperately without even seeing the people behind the scenes. In the Donghua Empire, the Donghua Wei family is known as the puppet family. Mikami's house. It wasn't until the butcher's knife struck him that the families in the Sakura kingdom truly realized how terrible the gap between them and the top families in the Donghua Empire was. This is almost a crushing gap. In the Sakura Sea area, a giant battleship is standing still on the sea, surrounded by frigates, guarding it and protecting its safety. As the commander-in-chief of the empire, Chen Beiyuan was standing on the deck at the moment, looking at the scenes of violent massacres in the Sakura kingdom in the distance, and the horrific battle in the sky that almost destroyed the land. From the very beginning, the battle was one-sided. The so-called powerful families in the Sakura kingdom were beaten as easily as young children before the top families in the Donghua Empire. Even if they are both 8th-grade war emperors, the gap between them is terrifying. To a certain extent, the body refining system of the Sakura kingdom was inherited from the Donghua Empire. Unfortunately, they only got the basics of it and added their own messy things to form their own system. Although it is strange, changeable, and powerful in killing, it does have huge flaws. When a defective product with defects encounters a more powerful, more perfect, and more terrifying genuine product, the end can be imagined. None of the top families in the Donghua Empire can be called simple. Each family has its own unique abilities and methods. This expedition is extremely feared by all the overseas human race empires, and even the ferocious beasts and alien races. The 4 top families of demon, weird, who are frightened by the news are all dispatched. The Sakura people are afraid that something bad will happen to them. Eat the fruit. Chen Beiyuan's eyes were calm, as if he was not surprised by the scene in front of him. The so-called demon, trick, weird 4 top families were originally spread from the mouths of countless foreign ferocious beasts. Each of them has countless bloody lives as a stepping stone to achieve the nightmare in the eyes of countless people. Since the founding of the Donghua Empire, these 4 top aristocratic families have been a nightmare in the eyes of countless people. Demon is the Donghua Lin family. Once every child of the Lin family transforms into a demon, he will have the powerful body and terrifying resilience of a demon. He will not be afraid of pain, life, or death. Even if his head is blown off or his heart is pierced, he will still not stop killing. Demon is the Chun family of Donghua. Almost every child of the Chun family who practices demons possesses the mysterious, powerful, and strange characteristics of demons. If they disagree with each other, they can activate the Demon Dao forbidden move and obtain a steady stream of terror. Power either kills the enemy first, kills oneself first, or drags everyone to death together. Gui is the Wei family of Donghua. Almost every child of the Wei family is a born puppet great master, and is also a born lunatic. Not only are they keen on creating puppets, they also like to transform themselves into puppets, getting rid of the natural weaknesses of human beings in order to gain powerful power, and even gain eternal life. When fighting against the Wei family, one must always be extremely vigilant, because you don't know whether you are killing the real person or the puppet. Weird is the Donghua Bai family. As a beast-controlling family, every descendant of the Bai family is a beast-controlling great master. The best thing he is good at is the sea of beast tactics. Once he takes action, he can summon terrifying beasts, fight with the enemy, hide behind the beast, and control the entire scene. It's not that these 4 major families are the strongest families in the Donghua Empire, but their killing methods and efficiency are undoubtedly the ceiling of the Donghua Empire. Among them, the Demon Dao family, represented by the Donghua Chen family, is the most mysterious and powerful existence among the 4 families. The other top aristocratic families may not be inferior in terms of strength, but in terms of prestige, they are not as powerful as these 4. Just when Chen Beiyuan was feeling emotional, Bai Ruowei and Jiang Yanhua, who were the soldiers behind him, looked a little worried. During this expedition, all the top prodigy fought bloody battles on the front lines to gain meritorious service and become famous. However, Chen Beiyuan used his privileges as commander-in-chief to arrange for the 2 women to become personal bodyguards to protect his safety. Relying on this job of protecting the coach, when calculating the merits afterwards, both of them can be ranked at the forefront of the top prodigy, or even first. This is almost a disguised connection household. It's not life-threatening, and you can perform meritorious service while lying down. Who doesn't look jealous? But the two women who were receiving special care at this moment were not happy at all, but instead felt a little bit more inexplicable worry. Beiyuan, there is no 8th grade war emperor coming from the Chen family this time. With only my uncle leading the army to annihilate the Ito family, it will be a bit stretched. Ito Ryu is the only human race supreme in Sakura Kingdom. Even though his strength is the weakest among the human race's strongest, it is not comparable to the ordinary 8th grade war emperor. Uncle should still be quasi-emperor now. Otherwise, I'll ask my second uncle to help. Jiang Yinhua was the first to hold back and asked first. Compared to other top aristocratic families, this expedition was followed by family ancestors. The situation of the Donghua Chen family is indeed special, except that Chun Jiqing, the head of the Chen family, is here. Mr. Chen Shanha, is still sitting on the northern front. If it weren't for this Qingtian white jade pillar and the purple golden beam that controlled the sea, the large foreign territory that had just been conquered might have been lost. Because, this time the Donghua Chen family seems to be a very luxurious camp, with many strong men from the older generation following them. But they are missing a truly top-notch strong man. What's even more troublesome is that this time the Donghua Chen family has to face the Ito family, the real overlord of the Sakura Kingdom. This is the most powerful existence in Sakura country. Jiang Yinhua's worries are not unreasonable. In fact, even Bai Ruowei has this idea. Just out of trust in Beiyuan, Bai Ruowei never asked. What's even more interesting is that from beginning to end, no one in the Donghua Empire took the initiative to mention this matter, let alone asked if they needed help, as if they were waiting to watch a good show. The Chun family wanted to eat the fattest piece of meat from the Ito family, so naturally everyone had no objections. But if the Chun family can't eat, then everyone can naturally help. However, there will definitely be some benefits at that time. There is no reason to work in vain. Don't look at the affectionate way those uncles and uncles called their nephew before, as if they were their own people, but their secret schemes have never stopped. Even the royal family, the Jiang family, seemed to be excluded by other families this time, but they also sent an 8th grade war emperor to accompany the army. Naturally, one can imagine their thoughts. The Chun family of Donghua seems to have stolen the limelight this time, but as the saying goes, everything must be reversed when it reaches its extreme, and everyone is jealous. Nowadays, who doesn't want to see the Chun family's jokes? Listening to Jiang Yinhua's sincere concern and Bai Ruowei's silent concern, Chen Beiyuan's eyes paused, and an unpredictable and strange smile appeared on his face. Not everyone can see my Chen family's jokes. It's just Ito Ryu. The old man will take care of it. Will the old man handle it well? Jiang Yinhua and Bai Ruowei were slightly stunned and almost didn't react. Aren't you talking about Uncle Chen? Why did it suddenly involve Mr. Chen? Isn't Mr. Chen still far away in Beijing City on the border front of the Donghua Empire? It's more than 100,000 miles away from Sakura country. Its terrifying span makes it impossible for even the strongest of the human race to get here easily. That is almost an ability that only the legendary gods can master. Could it be? When a ridiculous idea just came up, it was immediately extinguished by two people. This was really too ridiculous. Just when Zhang Bai and the two girls were shocked and seemed a little unbelievable. Suddenly, the two of them saw Chen Beiyuan standing in front of them with his hands behind his back, wearing a black imperial military uniform, exuding unabashed confidence and charm, as if he had everything under control, and felt their hearts surge. The two Yandra and idiot luck heroines instantly threw away their worries. Beiyuan, who is wearing the imperial uniform and commanding the three armies, is so handsome. Tonight, just roleplay. Just when the major families in Sakura country were being surrounded and suppressed. At this moment, Chen's father also led the Donghua army to surround the Ito family in the Sakura capital. As the military formation condensed, a military power similar to the power of the 8th grade war emperor's domain instantly enveloped the entire Ito family, causing countless Ito clan members to tremble and howl in terror. The Donghua people are coming to kill. The Donghua people are coming to kill. No, go and ask for your grandfather. Go and ask for your grandfather. Grandpa, help me. Grandpa, help me. The Ito tribesmen who used to rely on the power of the Ito family to run rampant and tyrannical were now like frightened piglets, running around and howling crazily. Even the elders and strong men of the Ito family are no better at this moment. After all, the other major families in Sakura Kingdom are now in a state of being unable to protect themselves, and I am afraid that the Ito family will not be spared either. But facing the Ito tribesmen running wildly in front of him, Chen Ziqing's handsome middle-aged face was filled with coldness and indifference, like a calm and powerful god, looking silently in a certain direction. Tread, tread, tread. Wearing wooden clogs, with skinny muscles, fleshless cheeks, and numerous spots, Ito Ryu slowly walked out of the wooden house like a mummy. He ignored the terrifying military power that filled the air, stared at Chen Ziqing, who was at the front of the military formation with a pair of cold, turbid eyes, and uttered a strange neigh. Chen Ziqing, the head of the Donghua Chen family? A mere quasi-emperor dares to challenge the old man? I thought it might be the Donghua royal family, but I didn't expect that he turned out to be an ant who overestimates his capabilities. In Ito Ryu's expectation, the Donghua Empire could only deal with him with 2.5. The member of the Donghua Chen family is afraid that he will not be able to leave now, and he will have to guard the territory he just occupied. That half is now at Fujiki's house, going on a killing spree, bit by bit tearing the old monster from Fujiki's house into pieces and slowly eating it. The only one left who can deal with him is the Donghua royal family. But at this moment, he didn't have the opponent he wanted to see. Instead, I saw a quasi-emperor. Just a quasi-emperor. In his eyes, they were like ants. I'm afraid it can be blown out in one breath. But the strange thing is that facing his gaze, Chen Ziqing, the head of the Chen family in front of him, was not affected at all, and even looked at him directly with a terrifying sense of horror. Ito Ryu, the old man asked me to come over and take your head back. Chen Ziqing's strange behavior instantly attracted the attention of all parties. Even the ancestors of the top families who were fighting in the sky and causing the sky to collapse and the earth to crack could not help but pause their killing moves and look over. In an instant, thoughts quickly communicated with each other. Is Chen Ziqing crazy? Although he is strong, he is only a quasi-emperor. Even with the military formation and the blessing of the military soul, he can only compete with ordinary 8th-grade war emperors at most. It is impossible to deal with the old monster Ito Ryu. It is not as simple as imagine that Ito Ryu, the old immortal, can sit firmly on the position of the strongest man in Sakura country. Even if he is good at conspiracy and tricks, it is difficult to hide his identity as the strongest of the human race. With Ito Ryu's strength, even the strong men at the peak of the war emperor can be easily suppressed or even killed. Even if Chen Ziqing is strong, even with the protection of the military soul, he can't withstand 3 moves from him. He doesn't even ask for help from us at this moment. Is he stubborn? Refusing to bow down easily? Is he as stubborn as his father? Must he fight? Or does he have a backup plan? Just when the top ancestors of the Donghua Empire were briefly communicating with each other, and those old monsters of Sakura country who were suppressed and beaten half to death were able to linger for a while at this moment. However, the scene that happened next made all the 8th-grade war emperors present feel a chilling fear and disbelief. This is impossible. Boom. In the countless pairs of astonished and disbelieving eyes, Chen Ziqing seemed to suddenly flash a strange primordial spirit fluctuation. The next moment, his momentum and pressure suddenly burst out, revealing the peak terrifying pressure of quasi-emperor, and continued to surge, as if there was no limit. 8th grade, War Emperor beginning stage. 8th grade, War Emperor intermediate stage. 8th grade, War Emperor high stage. 8th grade, War Emperor peak stage. Boom. Chen Ziqing's momentum surged again, as if breaking some kind of shackles, and instantly stepped into a special extreme realm of heaven and earth. A terrifying pressure from a powerful person instantly spread from him. Crack. Instantly, the sky above Sakura country was torn apart, as if it could not bear the sudden surge of terrifying momentum and violent pressure. Even the entire island and the surrounding sea were shaking and agitated wildly. In an instant, the overwhelming, terrifying, murderous intent attacked Ito Ryu, and he was immediately frightened and his scalp numbed, His hair stood up, and he screamed horribly. No, you are not Chenjiching. You are Chinshana. Boom. The sea surged wildly, causing huge waves. Standing on the deck of the huge warship, Chen Beiyuan felt the roar of the sea, his eyes staring at the huge island in the distance that was shaking wildly, like a dragon turning over, and Ito Ryetsu, who was blown away by a punch, with a huge fist mark on his chest and a shrill scream. A smile seemed to appear on the corner of his mouth. The old man's self-liberating transformation divine ability is getting more and more terrifying. Even at a distance of more than 100,000 miles, he can still burst out such terrifying power with the primordial spirit. No wonder no ferocious beasts and aliens dared to touch his tiger whiskers in the past 100 years on the border.
Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe.